Understanding the difference between courtship and dating is vital for you to build a relationship upon righteousness. The biggest mistake I see today with young men is when it comes to meeting women and getting to know them, they go about it the wrong way. When I ask guys, what are you looking for in a girl? What do you want? What is your end goal? What I hear in response in most cases is this: I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about it. So if you don't have an intention, you don't have an end goal, you don't have a plan, you don't have a strong why, you don't have an emotionally compelling reason, you are lost. And this is why so many relationships fail. Because men are not assessing the woman's character, her background, compatibility. Is she genuinely into you? Are there any issues there? What about you? Are you settling for her? Do you genuinely like her? Are you actually compatible with her? Or are you just lonely? Are you lustful? Are you insecure? Do you have low self-esteem and you just want to have some company because you're too afraid to be alone? You see, this is the problem in today's world. You want to get very serious of what you want. So let's start with courtship. What is the definition? What does courting mean? Well, the main purpose of courtship is for a man and a woman to evaluate one another's compatibility and chemistry for long-term sustainability and to build a foundation for marriage. That has to be the end goal. If not, you're wasting each other's time. And what is dating? Well, dating in the modern world is about finding yourself, seeing what's out there without putting any consideration into the other person. Dating is about pleasure, selfishness, lust, and making decisions rooted in emotions and feelings. Dating really has no other benefit than benefiting yourself. It's nothing more than glorified masturbation. You're using that woman for sex or she's using you for sex. You're both lusting after each other, but you know she's not wife material. She knows you're not husband material, but yet you're engaging with one another in intimacy, right? You're building a connection, but it's rooted upon selfishness. You want to take, you don't actually want to give. And you see, this is where the insecurity and the low self-esteem comes in. You see, a man that values himself, he's happy, he has a fulfilling life. He is strong enough to be alone. I repeat, he's strong enough to be alone. He can take himself out to eat. He can go to the gym by himself. He can read a book in the evening. He's got his career or his business. He's got his side hustle. He has good friends in his life. He tries to at least have a good relationship with his family. I know not all of you come from a good family, but he at least attempts to do those things. He's happy. Sex isn't even a thing that's on his mind because he has his lust in check. And when a man looks at the world that way, he can see things clearly. See, now he doesn't just want to meet a woman just to have fun. He knows that's something that can happen anyway when you have a connection, then it means something. So what is he looking for? He wants a woman he can build a legacy with, have a family with. So the moment he sees that the woman has red flags, she's incompatible with him, or he's actually just not that attracted to her, he's going to walk away. He's going to save her the pain of wasting her time and breaking her heart. And he's also going to save himself time, money, and energy wasted on the wrong woman. This is why it's so important to abstain, to be chaste, to really be alone until you come across a woman who feels the same way about you and you can both build together and you both have the end goal of having a family and being committed to life. If that's not going to happen, you should not be dating a woman. I am telling you, so many young men are wasting their time because they're chasing women that are not good for them. When you guys could be in the gym, getting stronger, you could be building your life. You could be investing, creating passive sources of income. You could be helping other men in the community. You could be preparing for your future. But this is the problem. You see, when you're dating, it's rooted in you. It's rooted in selfishness. What can you take? What are you getting out of being with that woman? Well, you're just having a little bit of fun, but then it doesn't go anywhere. You see, today I went for lunch, right? I was very hungry and I wanted to have Thai food. So I went to a Thai restaurant and I had Thai chicken mango curry. It was delicious. You see, before I even came out of the house, I already had an end goal. I had an intention. I knew exactly what I wanted and I went for it. Why would I go to eat knowing that's what I want, go to the restaurant and then they don't have that, I then settle for something else? No, then I'd leave, right? You see, a lot of you guys don't have any direction in life. So what is it that you're leading with? Well, your lust, your emotions, your feelings. That is not how rational men operate. Look, guys, without future preparation, there is always going to be failure. Isn't it funny that when it comes to relationships, there is virtually no men and women that are planning ahead? How many young boys are prepared to be a father or a husband? Not many. How many women are taught and raised to be wives and mothers? Very few. This is what I aim to change with my content, with my book, with what I teach. Because this is what men and women need. You can't just go into a relationship when you've got all of your unresolved issues. You don't have a solid understanding of yourself as a man, how to show up, what is required of you. And also you have no comprehension of women, how to communicate with her, how to build with her, how to understand her. This is why there's strife and there's division between men and women, because they really don't know how to get to know one another. But society tells you, go out there and have fun and hook up. And then you got a generation of single mothers, single fathers, broken homes, red pill and feminism and bitter men and women, because people are living for themselves. And dating is selfish. See, this is what needs to change. Modesty needs to be reinserted back into our culture. So if you don't plan ahead, you're going to fail. And this is why simply dating to see where it goes puts you in a very dangerous position. You see, we all know that if an athlete doesn't train prior to the tournament, he's not going to do very well. If a student doesn't study before the exam, most likely he's not going to get a very high result. That's just the way it is. But somehow when it comes to relationships, which is virtually the most important area of your life, especially the romantic relationship, marriage, family, okay, choosing the right spouse, men put little to no thought in compatibility, in really seeing if the woman is a good match for them. And also, they themselves haven't even prepared to be a father or a husband. So then they fail. All they're caring about is the lust. Oh, I hope this girl likes me back. And you don't even have standards for yourself. You're setting the bar so low for yourself. And this is the problem. You don't know where you're going. Oh, I don't know what I want. I have to think about it. You must get very intentional. You must get very specific. You must know exactly what your standards are and what you want out of a woman. Because that alone will give you enough direction to map out an end goal. So when you meet a woman, from the get-go, you're getting to know her with intention. You're either qualifying or disqualifying her. And that's what women with high self-esteem do with men. This is why some of you get rejected on a first date, on a second date, and you don't understand why. It's because you're there looking at her body, and she's asking you questions, and she's realizing, we're not a good match. He's not going to be a good man in the future, so she gets rid of you. And you're so lustful, you don't get it. And then you go become an incel, you go on YouTube, you type in red pill, and you start to validate all of your insecurities because you're acting like a cuck. This is the problem with men today. Guys, you must court intentionally. If not, it's never going to work out for you. So see, when you place marriage as the end goal, you're more inclined to stay true to your standards and focus on actually courting her to determine if she's worthy of becoming your girlfriend and eventually your wife. That's the powerful thing about courtship, guys. It is intentional and it's purposeful. It has a meaning behind it. It's built upon self-control and making choices based upon principles, morals, and values. And it's no different than the example I just gave you guys before when I went out for lunch today. And I had that Thai mango chicken curry. I knew exactly what I wanted. I wasn't going to settle for anything less. Okay? You know, if you go to the gym, anybody who works out, they will tell you the same thing. When I go to the gym, I know exactly what muscles I'm training. I already know what weights I'm going to hit. And I know how many sets and how many reps. Because you have a schedule. You have a routine. You know exactly what you're doing. That gives you structure. That gives you order. Then you can map out your goals, what you want to achieve, what you expect to get out of it, because it's intentional. So many men are making decisions with their little head, not their big head. And this is the problem. You make choices based on fear, based on what other people think of you. And when it comes to women, you only make decisions based on lust. This is why you're not making any progress. One of my dear friends always tells me, what gets measured gets accomplished. And it's very true. You must be very purposeful with everything that you do in your life, with your career, with your business, with your health. What are you eating throughout the day, huh? What are you putting into your body? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting enough sleep? When you get yourself into a strict routine based upon morals and principles with the end goal of being healthy. For example, if you're a skinny guy, you want to put on 10, 15 pounds. Or you have a goal of losing 10, 15 pounds if you're overweight. Whatever happens to be. If you already know this is what you want, then you have to make a plan that will get you to that. And it's no different with relationships. If you want a good wife, you want a traditional woman, first you must become a traditional man. And then you must make certain when you get to know a woman, you're vetting her background. You're making sure she's a godly, moral woman. If not, it ain't going to happen. But you guys aren't doing that. This is why you wake up at all different hours of the day. You go to bed at all different hours of the night. Because you don't know where you're heading in life. So you can't plan accordingly. So get out of your emotions, get into your rationale, and start writing things down. Organize your life. Be a man. Take control. That's masculine. This is what you must do. So when it comes to dating, where most men go wrong is they get to know a woman with no other intention than to serve their sexual cravings or to fill the void of loneliness. This mindset is what makes you turn a blind eye from red flags or glossing over incompatibility, because the only goal you have is to have a woman without looking deeper into who she is. Right? You just want companionship. And this is why you have people in a 7-year relationship and they never get married. Then they settle eventually. Okay, they have a couple kids. They're living together, but they're not married. Then eventually they do get married. And then the marriage falls apart. They settled. They were staying in a dead-end relationship. Now they're just two friends that are sharing a place to live because there's no intimacy. They were both too weak and cowardly to walk away because you get comfortable, you get complacent. That's where dating leads. When I'm courting a woman, guys, and I get to know a girl, from the rip, she wouldn't even make it to a first date with me. I ask questions. If I see anything there that already lets me know she's not a Christian, she's not moral, she doesn't have the same morals as me, on your bike. Adios. It's done. There's no more building with that woman. She's gone. I hope she finds someone else that makes her happy. Because a real man does not compromise on his principles. That's what Andrew Carnegie said. That is also very true. And when you stick to your principles, do you know what happens, guys? You get stronger. Your character becomes sharper. It's easier next time to stay true to what you believe in, to stand up for yourself. But every time you lower your standards, every time you compromise on your principles, you become weaker. And this is why you got low self-esteem. So let things flow naturally. So sometimes you're going to come across a woman, guys, and after 2 weeks of going on dates, you're going to come across a few warning signs that she's just not right for you. Or maybe you're compatible, but you just realize, she's not that pretty. I don't like her. And you lose attraction. Okay, sometimes your values are just not aligned. And you can part ways amicably. It doesn't always have to be about ghosting. It doesn't have to be said in a spiteful way. Okay? You can just walk away. Hey, it was great getting to know you, but you ain't right for me. I wish you all the best. Okay? You can do it with respect and love. That's it, guys. What does the Bible tell us in Proverbs 25, verse 28? He that has no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And this is the problem with you men. You don't have principles. Where are your boundaries? Where are your deal breakers? Okay? Get yourself in order first, men. It starts with you. The principle of courting to marry, it saved me from pointless relationships. It really has. Anytime I've been getting to know a girl and I just see something ain't right anymore, I've walk away. I've dumped women before. I've turned girls down. I've even friend-zoned women. Back when I was younger, then I'd walk away from it. Because I'm not going to lower my standards. That's what weak men do. And I always knew that from an early age. But why did I get better at it? Because practice makes improvement. Every time I turned down a woman that wasn't right for me, my confidence grew. Every time I walked away from a pretty, even though she was beautiful, I walked away because we weren't compatible, I became stronger. Every time I could say, listen, I'm sorry, but this ain't going to go anywhere. That's it. And every time I've done that, it just makes me stronger. See, confidence isn't going to come out of thin air, guys. The first time you do it, it takes courage. Once you've done it enough times, then confidence. You know, I've never done parachuting. I actually don't even like heights. So if you were to say, Christian, let's go parachuting, it's going to take me a lot of courage to do that because I have no experience in skydiving or jumping out of a plane. But if, for example, if you say to me, hey, Christian, can you translate this in Spanish to me? Sure, because I'm fluent in Spanish. It just is what it is. Okay? So for you guys that, I don't know, don't feel sorry for yourself. There is no try, just do. Okay? Actually get it done. Take immediate action. If you're getting to know a girl currently and you've assessed her background and you know there's something wrong, character flaw, red flag, tell her, I'm not interested, and walk away and watch how good that feels. There's nothing wrong with turning her down. You got to think about your future. You can either suffer the consequences of discipline or the consequences of regret. And if you're not disciplined enough to hold strong to your standards, then you can cry 20 years later when you're paying the divorce for the wrong woman. And then your entire life is ruined. And then you're taking care of kids with her that you never wanted in the first place. Have fun. It won't be me. It ain't going to happen to me. And I don't want it to happen to you guys either. And I've got plenty of case studies on this channel of guys that have had that happen to them simply because they didn't vet the woman's character and they weren't disciplined enough to walk away when they should have. And then you reap what you sow. It just is what it is. Okay? Please do not cause yourself any unnecessary suffering. It's just not worth it. Again, discipline or regret, you choose. Because pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret, now that one's everlasting. That's all I've got to say on that. So, for me, guys, the principle of courting to marry, it saved me from pointless relationships. And I want you to practice that too. That is the whole principle of courtship, of dating. You do it with the intention to marry and spend your life with a woman. And the moment you know she's nothing but a 304, in fact, she doesn't even make it to girlfriend material, let alone wife material, okay, you walk away. And every time you do that, you get stronger. And as your standards increase, your charisma improves. When you talk to a beautiful woman, you're not going to be scared of her because you understand as a man, a lot of these pretty women, they have a lot of insecurities. Some of you don't know that if you haven't interacted with women. From my experience, a lot of girls that are very beautiful have a lot of body issues, body image issues, low self-esteem because they compare themselves to other women. So when you spot a woman that is genuinely confident, she's modest, she clothes herself appropriately, she can speak to you freely, that's very attractive to me. Because for me now, if I talk to a girl and I see she's got low self-esteem instantly, to me it's a turn-off. Because I already know she's got unresolved issues, she's got insecurities that are not my job to fix, and it's going to be a difficulty. And then you always have to pander to the insecurities. That's not a woman who's ready to be a wife or a mother because she's still dealing with her own problems. Could she change in the future? Sure. But until then, good luck. I'm moving on. Guys, and this is what happens. You start to realize, hey, there's a lot of people out there that have issues and problems. But once you overcome your insecurities, once you overcome your issues and you're actually a confident man and it's real, you're not faking it, it's genuine, then you're going to be more attracted to a woman who's feminine, a woman who's actually confident as well. Because you're masculine. And when you do it from that place, guess what? You're never going to lower your standards. If you like her and you're compatible, you'll keep getting to know her. And you can both ascertain from the very beginning if you're on the same page. And if the answer is yes, you keep turning pages. If the answer is no, you close that book and you move on. It's that simple, guys. So to wrap things up, I'm just going to say, there are a lot of men out there that are recovering from porn. A lot of you guys are addicted to the dopamine hit from lusting after all of these women online. A lot of you don't control your urges. You don't abstain from masturbation, and you keep deregulating your hormones. This needs to stop. Because the problem is, because you are so lustful, you can't live without a female's breasts. And this is why we have grown men crying and groveling over women that don't want them back. I mean, get your testosterone levels checked. That is pathetic. Wake up. Get out of that slumber. Get out of your emotions. Get right with God. Get your standards right. And you court with the intention to marry. Okay? Get very specific and intentional with what you're looking for. How many children you want. Being strong in your faith. Having a firm stance on your values. And be on the lookout for a traditional woman. When you do it this way, guys, this means that you will not waste years of your life in a relationship with a girl that you have no intention of committing to. Because casually dating without an end goal always leads to confusion and time wasted. I repeat. Casually dating without an end goal always leads to confusion and time wasted. Be wise and be patient. It will protect you from giving your life to the wrong woman. With that said, guys, that's the end of the video. Share this with a friend, somebody who needs to hear it. You got a bitter, angry, red pill friend or a guy who keeps dating the wrong women, be sure to send them my way. Also, if you'd like to know more about my work, you can get a copy of my book, link in the description. If you want a coaching call or share your story with me for me to share in an upcoming video, my email is down in the description. Send me a message. With that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless all of you and your family, and I'll see you guys in the next one.